Who is the strongest team in every Inazuma 11 game? The ultimate team at the end of the competition route that you spend the entire game building up for. And then when you beat them, it is the most amazing feeling. So today I want to go through each of the main 6 games and I want to assess who is the strongest team. I'm not talking about who is the hardest match. No, none of that baloney. We're talking pure power levels here. We're talking levels, placement in a competition route, all that stuff. Who is the final boss of an Inazuma 11 game? So let's start off straight away with Inazuma 11 1, and of course the final boss there is Fallen Zeus. Fallen Zeus are between level 80 and 90, and they're at the very end of Sunny Raimon's competition route. They're Zeus, but fallen, I guess. There's not really any big change here, they're just stronger. And they've got a cool new logo. Moving on to Inazuma 11 2, and the hardest match here is probably New Genesis. New Genesis are found on Sue's mum's competition route at the very end, and their levels are between 92 and 95. And it is Genesis, but new. Annoyingly, the first 2 games have quite boring final bosses, but I promise it gets a lot more interesting after this. Inazuma 11 3 is definitely the one with the most complicated final boss, because it requires you to go to tournament mode. If you go to a rank 16 tournament with 8 of a certain select few players in your team, and your team level is 99, then you have a chance of taking on the real Inazuma. They are alternate forms of players from Inazuma Japan, but with different movesets. If you want a team who's a bit less hard to find in Inazuma 11 3, then the Dream Tournament's Chaos Angels is also one of the strongest teams in the game, with levels around 95. Moving on to Go 1, and the final bosses in this game are found at the end of Faith Healer's competition routes. There's 2, Inazuma the Great and Absolute Zero. Both level 95, and Inazuma the Great is definitely the more interesting team. Mostly because the players on it are just kind of random. I'm sure there's some kind of theme that I'm missing here, but I mean, they're generally cool choices. Meanwhile, Absolute Zero is if you took all the villains in the game together and just stuffed them into one big stew. And also if Czech was there. Who the hell is Czech? Moving on to Chrono Stones, and obviously here we have the introduction of level 99 routes. So I'm just going to go with the 2 teams at the end of each level 99 route, because obviously all the teams in these routes are the same level. For Mr. Veteran's route, you've got the level 5 heroes, which is a team composed of different big level 5 characters. You've got some of the Layton guys in there, some of the LBX people in there. And then for the Grandfather route, we're going to go with the Crimson Hounds. The general theme here is Crimson, which is pretty cool. And then Thomas Feltz in goal. Sure. And then let's move on to Go Galaxy, where again we have level 99 routes, but this time 3 of them. Starting off with Sylvia's route, her final team is again the level 5 heroes, this time rocking the single worst formation I've ever seen. I mean, I know they're going for that box midfield, but 2 defenders and one of them is a midfielder is an interesting choice. Nellie's team is the Last Rivals, and again they also have a terrible formation. Here it might be even worse because their defenders are Aphrodite and Dracul. But obviously the theme of their team is all of the main villains put into one team. It's a cool idea, but this is disgusting to look at. And finally, the last team we're going to look at in today's video is the Key Person, the team found at the end of Gus Martin's competition route. This is a team composed of various important Inazuma 11 characters, and I mean, again, they're going for this horrible formation, but I guess it's slightly more balanced. All in all, this is a surprisingly boring team. But there we have it. That is all the strongest teams in every Inazuma 11 game. Which one's your favorite? And I want to see you guys predict what the strongest team of Victory Road of Heroes is going to look like. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that classic YouTube stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.